This is the next step in the process for you. You stood out at the Senior Bowl. What's the feedback been like so far, and what do you feel like you still need to prove out here?
Yeah, it was good feedback. Playing with the best of the best and learning from the best coaches is a pretty cool opportunity. And it's the same out here. You got a lot of support staff and a lot of coaches that are part of the league, and you get to learn from. So yeah, I'm excited to see what it's like going forward tomorrow.
Bryce, what's something you're most proud about in your development over your college career?
Most proud about, I'd say like my cerebral game, the way I've grown when it comes to the mental game of football. When I first came in, I was more raw. I love football. I knew what cover 3 and cover 2 was, but there's a lot of more ins and outs to the game that I've learned, and that's definitely helped my game grow.
Do you have a specific play that you think about where you're like, man, like maybe a couple years ago I wouldn't have been able to do that, but this past year, good example?
Yeah, I had a forced fumble against Wisconsin, and we do a good job of like reading birds and rabbits and reading run pass every week, seeing the tell from a tackle. And on that play specifically, our run blitz was different than our pass blitz, but I knew it was going to be a run play based off the tackle set pre-snap. So I hit it fast and forced a fumble, so I'd say that was one that I was pretty proud of.
What's birds and rabbits?
It's just run or pass, just a fancy saying for run or pass.
Bryce, if I'm an NFL general manager and I spend a draft pick on you, what type of player am I going to get?
Someone that's relentless and passionate about this game. I haven't met someone that's as passionate about this game and plays as hard as I do. I feel like it's number one in football. Someone who's passionate and someone who's physical, and that's going to win you a lot of games. That's me.
Have you met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I haven't yet. And on officials, I have a little bit, but nothing official.
Bryce, the green dot started being allowed in college a couple years back. Did you wear the green dot at Oregon to field communications from the sideline?
I did, yes.
And what did you learn from that process that you can take to the NFL?
Yeah, I think the biggest part of that is, the defense either succeeds or fails because of how you communicate, which I like the added pressure. I feel like it, when the whole defense, the success of the defense is on me, I have to prepare harder, and you have to hold yourself accountable and to the highest standard possible. So, I love having that weight on my shoulders, and, I'm ready for it.
For the longest time, the green dot was kind of attributed to the Mike. Do you have any preference, whether it's Mike, Will, dime linebackers, or anything you feel you excel at the most?
I don't. I know in our scheme at Oregon, we had Mike, Will, or Mac Money. We were kind of pretty interchangeable. So, I'm ready to play whatever the next team that drafts me wants me to play.
Bryce, are you still pursuing a career in baseball, or is that kind of on hold while you're pursuing this NFL?
That's on hold right now. I'm pursuing fully football right now, and I want to win a Super Bowl. So, all football right now.
And have the Astros been supportive of that process? Like, what's their conversation?
Yeah, they've been super supportive, man. Obviously, they're waiting to see how the draft shakes out, but they've been super understanding. Knowing that I'm from Oregon, I wanted to finish out my football career there, and understand I have a cool opportunity in football. So, yeah, they've been awesome with it.
Have teams been, kind of skewered you about that? Have they been skeptical that you have that other thing to fall back on? Or?
But that's a big question, baseball or football. Are you a baseball guy or a football guy? And it's football. Football is my passion. I love it. You can't hit anyone on the baseball field. I love baseball, but, this game makes me feel alive, and, there's a reason I'm here.
Hey, Bryce, what's harder to do, to hit the baseball or learn a Dan Lanning defensive playbook?
Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports, to give you that much, but Dan Lanning playbook's pretty complicated, too.
Speaking back to some of your Oregon teammates that are now in the league, are there any of those that you kind of still talk to, that you've gotten advice from throughout this process?
No doubt. I was on the phone with Jeff Bossa for the Senior Bowl, kind of just picking his mind and what interviews would be like and what to expect, and talked to Tez here and there, and text Bo here and there. So, we got a good support system in the NFL now, and looking to add to that.
Dylan Thieneman's a pretty highly rated guy in this year's draft. Obviously transferred from Purdue. How quickly did you see him acclimate to your guys' program, and what is the team getting in him?
Yeah, I've never seen someone acclimate faster than a guy like Dylan Thieneman. His work ethic's off the charts. You get someone who's incredibly consistent. Like I said, his work doesn't alter. It's, if he's in there at 5 a.m. every morning getting his work done, his treatment done, he's going to be in there at 5 a.m. every single morning, which is great. You want a consistent player at the next level, I feel like. He's a true professional and a great teammate.